share their experiences with fellow dull men and women that appreciate dull men without worrying about being criticized. It's a sanctuary for people that enjoy the dull life. A lot of women appreciate dull men. They like a dull man in their life. Dull men are fabulous around the house. In the kitchen in particular, they love to do the washing up. And when cooking, they love to do the chopping and the stirring and watching. And they love to time things. If you need something to simmer for 3 minutes, bring the dull man in the kitchen and he'll get the timer and time it for you. A while back, we realized that there are a lot of things around us, everyday things, mundane things some people think are boring, but we started looking at them more carefully, things like airport luggage carousels. So we formed the Dull Men's Club, where we can share our experiences of how we enjoy these items. And we formed a website where we have contributions by members and people from all around the world who have like minds about these objects. There's one gentleman we really admire here in the UK. It's Kevin Beersford. Kevin founded the Roundabout Appreciation Society and is very active with it to this day.
My Roundabout Society, we have a saying, there's no green in roundabouts, only red. And research in America has found, because they're trying to reintroduce the roundabout into America, is the amount of saving on fuel at a roundabout as opposed to a traffic light on an intersection. I think being a roundabout spotter can be somewhat a lonely hobby sometimes. In fact, my ex-wife hated the fact that I was a roundabout spotter, and in the end she left me. But I don't mind that, because I can go out now roundabout spotting whenever I want. I don't have any quarrels over that. So that's the positive side of things about that.
I like this spot, very quiet, 2 boxes for the price of one. One that's in use, modern, Tin Lizzie. Some like, some don't like. The old one, which I prefer, as crisp and as sharp as the day it was made in about 1880. Brilliant. At the time I had a heart bypass in 2007, I was encouraged to exercise and get myself a hobby. And I suppose I put the two, and I worked for Royal Mail at the time, and I put the 2 to 3 points together. I suppose it was just an accident. And the comment I made, that somebody advised me when I first bought my camera to get something ready into my photographs, whether it be an anorak of somebody wearing an anorak in the distance of a photograph, and with post boxes it's perfect, red. And it takes me to so many places I would not normally have gone to. And the wife and I, she suffers a bit, but we class it as a way of discovering how our country works. And even Ireland, we've been to Ireland a couple of times, and they have green boxes there, and it's just great. Love it.
I noticed that these bricks were lying about and the names of the brick makers were there. So I asked him what was going to happen to them, and he said, he says they'll all be collected up and broken up, and they're going to be used for ballast for a road that's coming into the new, what will be the new country park. So straight away I thought, well, it's a shame these things being broken up, and I asked him if I could take some. Took about half a dozen or a dozen so, and came back, and eventually I've collected about 40, all different name makers. And that's where the interest started, because none of these brick makers were still in business. Steel industry in Sheffield, and all these industries were dying, and brickmaking was one of them. So anyway, when I got them home, I didn't know what to do with them. I had a pile of bricks, and I thought I'd make a bit of a path with the name showing, and when that filled up, I put them up as a bit of a wall there with the name showing again. And it became not exactly an obsession, but when we go out, or when we used to go out, we don't go out as often now as we used to do, but I always had a plastic bag in my hand, or in my pocket, and we'd pick up bricks. So eventually we've collected, I would say, roughly 150 bricks, and it's got to be a brick with a name. It's got to be a brick maker's name. But it's a shame that the industry's gone. I mean, all you get now with a brick is a lump of baked clay with 3 holes in. Nothing to say who's made it or where it's from or whatever. And it seems a shame. But that's it anyway. That was how the interest started, yeah.
Well, I like the glass and I like the social history. For example, if a milkman lost a milk bottle in the 1930s, the day he had it, that was the equivalent of 6 weeks' milk down the drain. He had to turn that bottle round 40 times plus before he made a profit. They all had different designs. They cost money, obviously, whether you had it embossed or you had an artist in who did the artwork for it. Then you were up against why a milkman doesn't like milk bottles. It's because it's cold mornings, it's broken glass, it's all the things children put in there, from growing cress or conkers or folded lollipop sticks or cereal toys. We've got a milk bottle news, we call it, which is technically a club, but all it really is a website and a collection of people who meet now and again around the country. We've had conventions in the past. We've had special bottles produced to commemorate the conventions from different parts of the country. What's the saying? Short time living, long time dead. The more you can slow down and take things easy, the longer you're going to live. You've got to smile a lot. You've got to have fun.